The salty spray kissed Finn's face as he gripped the helm of the sea serpent. He loved the ocean, its vastness, its power, and its secrets. But tonight, a knot of unease tightened in his stomach. They were approaching Point Nemo, the most remote place on Earth. "Anything on the radar, Maya?" Finn asked, glancing at his first mate. Maya, a young woman with sharp eyes and an even sharper mind, shook her head. "Nothing, Finn. Just empty ocean for miles and miles." Empty was a problem. Usually, even in the deepest parts of the ocean, there was some sign of life, a blip on the radar, a whale song on the hydrophone. But here, there was nothing, just an eerie silence that pressed in on them from all sides. Old Man Hemlock, their seasoned navigator, shuffled onto the bridge, his face etched with wrinkles that spoke of countless voyages. "We're close, lads," he croaked, his voice raspy as barnacles. "Close to where the compass spins and the whispers start." Finn frowned. Hemlock was a treasure trove of nautical knowledge, but he also had a penchant for tall tales and superstitions. "Whispers, Hemlock? What whispers are you talking about?" Hemlock's eyes glinted in the dim light. "The whispers of the deep, lad. The voices of those who never returned. Sailors say Point Nemo is a graveyard, a place where the ocean keeps its secrets and its victims." Maya scoffed. "That's just a story, Hemlock. Point Nemo is just a point in the ocean, the furthest place from any land." That's what they want you to think," Hemlock muttered, clutching his worn wooden pipe. "But there's something more out there, something wrong." As the night deepened, the sea serpent sailed on, cutting through the inky black water. Finn tried to focus on his duties, but Hemlock's words lingered in his mind. He found himself listening for something, anything, in the unnatural silence. Suddenly, a flicker on the radar screen. Maya leaned forward, her brow furrowed. "Something's there, Finn. Small but moving fast. Can you identify it?" "Negative. It's not a ship, not a submarine. It's unlike anything I've ever seen." The blip moved erratically, closing in on the sea serpent at an alarming speed. Finn felt a chill crawl down his spine. This was no ordinary vessel. "All hands on deck," he barked, his voice tight with apprehension. "Prepare for possible collision." The crew scrambled into action, their faces pale in the moonlight. The sea serpent was a sturdy vessel, but against an unknown threat, they were vulnerable. Then they saw it. A shape emerged from the darkness, gliding silently through the water. It was massive, dwarfing their ship, its form shifting and indistinct. It looked like a grotesque parody of a whale, with too many fins, too many eyes, and a mouth that stretched into an impossible grin. A wave of terror washed over Finn. This was no creature of the natural world. This was something ancient, something alien, something that should not exist. The creature emitted a low, mournful sound that vibrated through the sea serpent's hull. It was a sound that spoke of immense sorrow, of unimaginable loneliness, of a hunger that could never be satisfied. Hemlock let out a strangled cry. "The Leviathan! It's come for us!" Finn didn't know if Hemlock was right, but he knew they had to fight. Hard to starboard. Prepare the cannons. The crew, spurred by adrenaline and fear, sprang into action. The cannons roared, sending iron balls crashing into the creature's side. But the creature didn't seem to notice. It continued to glide towards them, its eyes burning with an eerie green light. As it drew closer, Finn saw details that made his stomach churn. Barnacles covered its body, but these were no ordinary barnacles. They were skulls, tiny human skulls, fused to the creature's flesh. And from its gaping mouth, he heard the whispers that Hemlock had spoken of, a chorus of voices crying out in torment. The creature lunged, its massive jaws snapping shut around the sea serpent's mast. The ship shuddered violently, throwing the crew to the deck. Finn clung to the helm, desperately trying to steer the ship away from the monster's grasp. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the creature vanished. The whispers faded, the green light disappeared, and the sea serpent was left rocking the waves, its mast splintered, its crew shaken. They sailed away from Point Nemo as fast as they could, not stopping until the first rays of dawn painted the sky. They never spoke of what they had seen, but the memory of the creature, the skulls, and the whispers remained etched in their minds. Finn never sailed to Point Nemo again. He knew that the ocean held many wonders, but some secrets were best left undisturbed. Some places were not meant to be explored, and some graveyards were best left to the dead. The fear of Point Nemo never left him, a constant reminder of the horrors that lurked in the deepest, most remote corners of the earth. He understood why sailors feared Point Nemo. It wasn't just the isolation, but the feeling that they were trespassing on something ancient and malevolent, something that should never be disturbed.